probably going to be terrible. All right, so today we're learning how to tell time. Am I on?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're like in second grade. Okay, everybody like to be in second grade, kindergarten. Okay, learning how to use the clock again. Okay, so learning how to tell time. We have a time quiz on Friday. Tomorrow we're going to do time rotations. Okay, so we're going to get familiar with some terms for time. And everything I'm going to be writing on the board is also available to you already on notes. What I want you to do right now is take your own notes on paper or on Notability. Okay, just for fun. To me, there's a connection between your fingers and your brain. Okay, so a couple of terms. We're kind of learning the formal, preppy time. Camila over here would probably not use the formal, preppy time, but we are. So in order to not know numbers all the way to 60, okay, we're only going to go to 30. Okay, and instead of saying 30, we're going to say half. Anybody know the word for half? How about a quarter? Anybody know the word for quarter? Cuarto. Okay, so cuarto will be 15 minutes. Okay, 1/4 of an hour. Okay, then half. I already heard somebody else say media. Or your other term. Okay, so half past. So half past, I'll say y media. Quarter after, I'll say y cuarto. Okay, if it's quarter till, I'll say menos cuarto, minus 15. We'll talk about that here in a second. Okay, other terms that we're going to need to know. We're going to need to know noon and midnight. Okay, so the word for noon in Spanish is, we'll say es medio día, which is halfway through the day. Okay, and then midnight, almost the same, still es media noche. Okay, so like you say buenos días and buenas noches. The thing that's tricky about this is medianoche, midnight, is that a.m. or p.m.? Midnight is actually a.m. Okay, so on a quiz that could be tricky. Okay, it's like noon. Okay, halfway through the day is actually p.m. Okay, so be careful with noon and midnight on whether it's a.m. or p.m. That can get you. Okay. All right. The last term that we're going to talk about is a.m. and p.m. Okay, so a.m. I'm going to be writing all over the place, so I'm going to erase it all. Okay, but a.m. I wish it were as easy as a.m. It's not. I'm going to say de la mañana. Okay, of the morning. De la mañana. Okay. PM, there's two terms for PM. I'm going to have the afternoon and I'm going to have at night. Okay. Okay, so I have de la tarde is afternoon. Okay, and then later on at night, I'll say de la noche. And the question that always comes up, how do I know the difference? When does nighttime begin? What do you guys think? When does nighttime begin?
6.
Okay, she said 6 o'clock. She's kind of right along the same lines as I am. Okay, I usually decide by my stomach, and at 6:30, I'm hungry for dinner. Okay, so from 6:30 on, I say de la noche. Okay, up to 6:30, I say de la tarde. Okay, I'm not going to probably give you a 6 o'clock time because that's ambiguous. It's a little bit borderline. Okay, so I'm going to give you a definite time like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, so you know it's afternoon. And then definite nighttime from 7 o'clock on. So I'll probably avoid the 6 o'clock hour for AM and PM just because it's right on the border. Comprende? Okay, but Senor S starts about 6:30 based on his belly. At 6:30, I'm starving. You guys starving by 6:30?
Yes.
You're probably
Starving right now.
you starving right when you get home, probably. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So those are some of the terms we need to know before we start telling time. Okay. So we're gonna erase all these. Y'all ready for me to erase? No. Who said no? you a second. And you snap a picture of it. And remember, everything that I'm going over is on your notes. Okay, that on Schoology. Okay? So I want you to take notes because it helps you remember. Okay, the next thing we're going to be doing a lot of doodling. Who likes to doodle?
Me.
Alright, so a lot of doodling. Okay? Alright, there are a couple of rules for telling time that you have to keep in mind. Okay? First decision you're going to have to make, okay, with time in Spanish, is it singular or is it plural? Okay? So 1 o'clock is going to be singular. Okay? 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, all the way to 12 o'clock will be plural. Okay? So in Spanish, I'll say it is 1 o'clock. However, I'll say it are 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, etc. Comprenden? Okay, so the word for it is going to change whether it's singular or plural. Okay? So, it is 1 o'clock. You're going to say es la, or it is the. Okay, so it's the hour of 1 o'clock. It's going to go from this time span. It's going to go from 12:31 to 1:30. You're going to write that down. Okay? Anytime it's in the time span of 12:31 to 1:30, you're going to say es la. If it's not in that time span, okay, you're going to say son las. All other time. Comprenden? Okay, so first decision you have to make is it es la or son las. Okay, you're looking at this thing, okay, why is 12:31 es la? Anybody have an answer for that? Why is 12:31 es la if I'm saying 12? Criello? No? Nobody? The answer is, it's actually closer to 1 o'clock than it is 12 o'clock. Okay? And I'm going to go to the next hour. Anytime the big hand is past the 30-minute mark. Okay? So you have a big hand when you're doing clocks. Anytime it's past the 30-minute mark, I go to the next hour and subtract minutes to that hour. Okay? So, if I'm saying it's 12:31, okay, I'm going to say it's 1 o'clock minus 29 minutes. Comprenden? Okay? All the way up to 1:30, I'm going to say es la una. Okay? Alright, so your first decision is it es la or son las. Second decision, you have to decide is it y or menos? Is it plus the hour or is it minus the hour? Okay? So, plus the hour goes from your positive side, your good guys, go from 0 minutes to 30 minutes. Okay, the dark side, the negative hours, the minus, goes from what time to what time?
31.
Negatives and go from 31 to 59. Okay, so there's going to be more, theoretically, more possible answers on the plus side than the minus side. Okay? Alright. Alright. The rest of the time, I'm just going to have you give me some random times. Okay, and then we're going to doodle. Why is like doodling, right? Okay, who wants to give me a time? Okay? 4 what? 4 o'clock sharp? Give me a number. Come on. 4:20. Oh, look at that guy. 4:26, he says. Add a little 4,
How about 1:11?
5.
No, how about 9:11?
Oh, hold it, hold on. I'm at 4:26.
Wow. That's really
4. I want to go to 26. Okay? So how would I express it is 4:26 in Spanish? Okay? First decision I have to make, do I say es or son? Okay, Okay, I only say S with 1 o'clock, so I'm gonna say son. Okay, so I'm gonna say son las, or it is the. Son las, 4 o'clock is 4. My next decision is it E? Is it plus? Are we in the positive
Wait, what time?
or the negative?
6.
Positive.
Negative 4:26.
Sorry. Okay, it is positive. So for positive, I say E. Okay, and he gave me a big, huge number to start off. You have the option of writing it as 1 word or 3. Which would you prefer?
3.
Tres. Okay, you write it as 1. You have 4 accent marks you have to remember. Okay, so you can say 26. 26 tiene acento. Sobre ¿cuál letra? Accent mark on the E. Acento sobre la E. Or I can write it as 3 words. 20 y 6 without an accent mark. Okay.
I know,
Question, Emilia? ¿Comprenden? You guys with me? Alright. A ver. Campeón.
Is it only for 20 or can I put like 35?
And that dot, I think Emilia's complaining about my accent mark. It looks like it's on the S. It should be on the E. Is that what you're complaining about?
Not the I.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I said, no, because I thought earlier you said that there was more than just one accent mark.
There are 4. Your numbers that have accent marks are 16, 26, okay, so that's both 6s, 22 and 23.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, let's do another number. Continuing to doodle.
I love choosing.
Okay, let's go to the dark side. Dark
Oh,
side.
oh,
Batman.
I got one.
Got one?
Yeah,
No.
I got it.
Omar, ready?
9:12.
9:12. That's not the dark side.
Wait.
Dark side. ¿Cómo te llamas?
Mateo,
Mateo. I want the
10:50,
big hand to be past the 30.
10:53.
Oh,
10:53.
Make it 10, 15. Should go 11, 15.
Alright, so the big hand's almost to 11. The little hand's almost to 11. And we're saying 53. This is almost a double line. Okay, we're on top of each other. Okay, so we have 10:53. Am I going to say S or son?
son.
Son. Most of the time it will be son. So I'm going to say son las. Okay, now it's 10:53. Anytime the big hand is past the 30-minute mark, I go to the next hour and subtract. Okay, so am I closer to 10 or am I closer to 11? 11. Okay, so I'm going to say son las 11. Okay, and then I'm going to subtract, so I'm going to say menos. Okay, 11 menos. And he's right on. Siete. Okay, and that's all we do when we go to subtract. ¿Comprenden? Alright. Okay, let's try. Let's do a 30. Give me somebody at half past. Everybody, we got that? We good?
Yes.
Alright, 8:30, somebody said. Anybody else want to doodle?
Me.
Alright, so 8:30. You go to the 8. About halfway. Straight down. Okay, go straight down. Alright. 8:30. So again, es las son las.
Son.
Son las.